Hello everyone, we're going to be doing a review of Thorpe Park. Now, we visited the park in September 2020, just 2 weeks ago, so part of this video is going to be talking about how they are dealing with the social distancing measures, crowd control during the pandemic, and the other part, the first part, is going to be talking about my opinions on the roller coasters. Just in case you don't know, Thorpe Park is a Merlin owned theme park located in Staines, which is just outside London in the UK, which opened in 1979. So without further ado, let's get into it. The Swarm is a B&M wing coaster with a height of 39 metres and a top speed of 59 miles per hour. Now, for me, the Swarm is my favourite coaster in the park. It's short, but it's fun. It's got a thrill-packed layout, including several inversions and some good near-miss elements. It's a very smooth ride as well, and personally for me, that's my favourite thing about the ride, because I found the shoulder vest restraints, quite comfortable. I'm quite a fan of the post-apocalyptic theming as well, so for me the Swarm is number one. Nemesis Inferno is one of their older coasters. It's a B&M invert with a height of 29 metres and a top speed of 49 miles per hour. Although Nemesis Inferno does get a lot of critique, I think it's a solid invert. It has a fast, compact layout, and although it's not as terrain conforming as its bigger brother Alton Towers, it still packs a punch. It's quite good to watch from off-ride too. Although it's not a standout coaster for me or particularly memorable ride, it's an enjoyable ride, and it also has a bit of fame for being in the in-betweeners, which I'm sure you've seen. Now, Colossus was the park's first big thrill coaster, manufactured by Intamin in 2002 it opened. When it opened, it was a game changer for the park because it has a record-breaking 10 inversions. Unfortunately, this coaster has not stood the test of time well, and although it's still fast and intense, the headbang in between, the over-the-shoulder restraints and the rattle just makes it unbearable to ride. For me anyway, I guess it depends on your height. I do enjoy the Heartline rolls all in a row near the end, probably my favourite part of the ride, but I probably won't be riding this too many more times as it's just getting so rough now. Saw the Ride is the park's Gerstlauer Eurofighter and probably the most famous attraction at the park, with its beyond vertical drop, indoor section and excellent theming. For me, Saw the Ride has the whole package. I'll put it as my second favourite coaster in the park. Although at some points it does throw you about a bit in the seat, like lap restraints would probably be better for the ride. But it definitely gives a thrilling experience. My favourite section of the ride is the surprise first drop soon after leaving the station and the inversion inside before the lift hill. Other than that, the layout is fairly standard but a good solid ride. And another Intamin coaster, Stealth, is a launch coaster reaching just over 200 feet and launching at 80 miles per hour. I love the launch on this ride and how quick it gets you to the top, but in comparison to Red Force at Ferrari Land, it's kind of underwhelming now. So if you've been on Top Thrill, Dragster or Kingdom Car, you will be disappointed. But still, for the UK, it's an impressive coaster and well worth a ride. So two other coasters I must briefly mention are The Walking Dead, formerly X No Way Out, which is an indoor dark coaster. It's closed during this visit, but in my opinion it's not really worth talking about much anyway. There's also a junior powered coaster called Flying Fish, which is, fine for a kiddie ride. That actually used to be an indoor ride too. So on to my thoughts about how the park has been handling opening during the pandemic. To me, it was far too busy on this visit. Every queue line got to around 120 minutes, which is fine on a normal day where there's no pandemic, last year or whenever. If you don't mind queuing all day and you can get a fast pass or whatever. Fast pass wasn't available after 11 o'clock. They'd run out, so they're doing a limited number. Again, that would be fine if they'd let far fewer people into the park. So we booked our ticket online before going, which we thought you had to do anyway to ensure a ticket. People were still buying tickets on the door from what I saw, and like I say, after about 11 all the queues were 120 minutes. Obviously they want people to social distance in the queue. There was markers on the ground, they kept making announcements on the microphone to get people to social distance. People weren't doing it, but if they were, the queues would be out the door, through the dome, across the street and half the way back to Staines. That's how busy it was. So for me, they put profit over safety in a way for the park, and it was, it's even without a pandemic going on, it's not fun to be stood in queues constantly all day just to get on every ride. It was only our second theme park trip of the year which we were able to do because of the situation. So really, we didn't want to spend the entire day queuing. We had to get some lunch from Burger King, stand in the queue eating it. It's just not a pleasant experience. Although, the rides are great, there's some great coasters there, but it just takes the fun out of it a lot when you're stood in queues all day. They're not really explaining things properly as you go into the park. It's just they're saying that they're handling the social distancing and the pandemic, but really I just don't think they're doing a great job of it, which is sad to say. Not been to Alton Towers this summer, so I can't speak for Merlin as a whole, but yeah, Thorpe Park really do need to look at improving their operations. They were socially distancing on the coaster trains, which I understand would make the queues take longer, but you could tell there was just far too many people in them queues regardless of this. So that's my thought on how they were handling it. My thoughts on the park in general: it is a nice park. It's mainly for the thrill seekers, not much for the younger families, but that's fine. You've got Chessington not far away for those. The theming's actually quite good there, probably better than you'd expect. A lot of the rides are themed, and I think they've done a good job over the years at that. Still not sure what direction they're going in. They seem to open a lot of TV themed and like horror themed rides and stuff, and I think they've sort of rinsed that idea dry now, so it might be time to look at something different. We'll have to see what the future holds for the park anyway, but all in all, to be honest, a bit disappointed in the visit. Went on some great coasters, but the crowd control should have been far better. Okay, so that's my thoughts on Thorpe Park, September 2020. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.